Content warning. The stories and themes shared throughout this podcast may contain themes that can be distressing for you. If needed, please pause and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. If needed, please reach out to a mental health professional for support.
Welcome back to another episode of Resilient AF with Blair and Alana, but no Alana today, just Blair and Janet. Janet Omstead, I've known her for a few years, maybe longer than that. I think I met you before the pandemic. Was super excited to have her here today because not only is she an author in Resilient AF Stories of Resilience Volume 2, but she's an absolutely inspiring, amazing human. So Janet Omstead is a board certified health coach, author of the best-selling book, The Playbook, How to Get in the Habit of Good Health, and play expert with over 20 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. She's on a mission. Her mission is to reignite the world's passion for play as the solution to the global inactivity crisis. And listen, if you're sitting down in a car at a desk listening to this, you know. And so Janet believes that when we create the motivation and desire for regular movement using play as the catalyst for better health, regardless of age, we address our body's inherent need to manage itself effectively and create an environment that promotes wellness, fun, and joy. And, I talk about this, like how you strengthen your resilience muscle is by moving your body, And so this is something that I speak this language. And so as such, using play as an exercise opens up the door to physicality, emotionality, and psychologically healthy society, a psychologically healthy society. That's a tongue twister. We're all happier. And so this is cool too, because whether speaking, coaching, or leading Red January Canada, which we're going to talk about, Janet's strength lies in her playful approach to life. So Janet, welcome.
Oh, Blair, it's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. Sorry that was that last sentence was like a tongue twister.
Hard. I'm sorry. I probably could have written that better, but
well, she shells, right? But okay, so I've known you for a while. I met you through a women's entrepreneurship community. You've walked alongside me while I was navigating a lot of things, the things. And then I walked alongside you while you navigated your things. And now we're here together. We've come back together to talk about what you're doing in this world. And, you're someone who's had 3 near-death experiences. And the first one just a few years ago at the age of 24.
Few years.
Yeah.
Totally.
6 weeks before your wedding. And first of all, I want to talk about each of these near-death experiences and what that was like for you. I don't even know if would I know if I've had a near-death experience? I've been in car accidents, but I don't know. I mean, let's talk about it. And I also want to know how you're in the near-death experience. Because when I was preparing for this, I was like, have I had a near-death experience?
I don't think you know until you've come out the other side.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
I don't think it's something that you kind of go, oh, this is okay. It's happening. It's not like
I am near dying.
Yeah, I'm near dying.
Yeah.
But when you come out the other side and go, holy crap, if these things didn't line up the way the universe obviously meant for me to continue to be here, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly.
So I really don't believe that there is a telltale sign that these things are happening. I do believe there are signs, especially my near-death experience prior to getting married. I actually was in a situation where I was ignoring all the signs. My body was screaming at me. I had suffered from ovarian cysts through my teens into my 20s, and a surprise bachelorette happened for me 6 weeks before I got married, and I had not been feeling well. In fact, I had been waking up at night feverish, popping the Tylenol, thinking, oh man, what's going on? Maybe I'm nervous, what's happening? And then it was when I was in crippling pain that, and kind of at my bachelorette, friends were dancing. I crawled off to a bedroom to just catch my breath and think, okay, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. You know how you can talk yourself through those things? It's like, I'm okay. And then I wasn't okay. So yeah. And got myself into a very scary situation that, had my friends not driven me the 2 hours to the hospital, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So there's that.
And what, do you mind going into what was going on?
So I had excruciating abdominal pain, fever, and it had been happening for a couple days. Like I said, I was popping the Tylenol, and what was going on was that I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you know something's going on, and you're trying to convince yourself that it's really not that bad. When I work with clients and they're like, "Oh, I've been in pain for like 8 years with this hip," and it's like, well, pain isn't normal. It's your body's response to telling you something's wrong, whether you are suffering a headache or a leg, back, whatever is going on. Your body does talk to you. And I kept choosing to ignore it. So finally, it shut me down. And my friends recognized I was in distress. So they took control when I couldn't. And so I was very gratefully looked after and put in a position where someone could help me, because I didn't think I needed help, but I really did need help. And it
Wow.
was never too late. Yeah. Yeah.
What a bachelorette party.
Oh, what a bachelorette party. In fact, those girlfriends are still my dearest and nearest friends. And whenever we get together, I always look them in the eye and I say, without you, there wouldn't be me. So thank you.
Oh, well, I'm glad they saved you that night.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. I don't remember the ride to the hospital. I just remember getting to the hospital, and there was a lot of like franticness, is that, if that's a word. There was just a lot of lights and beeps, and I had an emergency ultrasound, and then they just looked at me and they said, we need to get you into surgery and we'll try and save your ovaries. And that was all I remember. And then I woke up, and here I am.
What a bachelorette.
What a bachelorette. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's scary. And like, thank God for your friends to recognize you were in distress and that you didn't die.
exactly.
But then you had a second near-death experience. When did that happen? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in my around my 40th birthday, the year I turned 40, so 1990, sorry, yes, 1997. No, 2007. 2007. My family and I were driving up to my brother-in-law's place. He has a house just north of Toronto. Everything seems to be out of the city. Anyway, we were driving up north. It was noon on Thanksgiving weekend. We had our, contribution to the potluck in the back, and a clear, beautiful, sunny day. And I was just changing the CD, because CD players were still a thing. I was just putting in a new CD, and I literally unpackaged, tried to put the CD in, and the next thing I know, there was screech and smoke, and yeah, it was the result of two brothers decided to street race. The street race, it was October 6th, 2007. Two brothers had decided that was a good day to street race each other, and one of them lost control and skidded across the highway and caused a six car chain reaction. We were the last car to get hit. My children were grade 3 and grade 7. And we walked away. And it's a real miracle, because the first car that got hit, two women died, and they were luckily contained within their car. And so that was a real to have my family involved, and to have to be pulled out of the driver's side window. None of us were physically hurt, but mentally that moment lasted a long time. So we had therapists, we had, yeah, a lot of support to help us get through that. And we had just bought this car that saved our life too, that summer. And had we been in our old car, I don't think our outcome would have been the same. So
Oh,
all those
wow.
put into place for us to be at that juncture at that time. So we still drive up to my brother-in-law. He still has a place up there, and we have a moment of silence every time we drive by. And yeah, it was quite the Thanksgiving. A lot to be thankful for sure.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. And what car was it?
Oh, well, we had a VW Touareg.
Oh,
Uh,
Them
which is
Volkswagens.
a Volkswagen. It was a bit of a beast. It was before the big, and then the whole Volkswagen situation happened. You know how they had all that recall. There
Yeah.
was all that stuff going on. No, we had been driving a Dodge Caravan and we switched to the VW. And I actually still have the VW. I had to go a couple weeks later up to the car lot that they drove our car to because it was a write-off.
Yeah.
And I saved the logo off the back. I pulled it
Mm.
off because I just had a lot of, yeah, a definite moment of gratitude that my family weren't hurt.
Tiguan's.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And do you remember and this is so a minor detail, but I'll tell you why I'm asking after your answer. Do you remember what CD it was that you were either putting in or listening to when that happened?
I think it was a new Cirque du Soleil CD. I don't know why. I think we had been to a show and they had given them out, or I bought it because the music on those shows are so like esoterical and cool. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh, this we should play this. And yeah, yeah,
I love that. I've car accidents are really scary. I've been in a few, and in high school, I was driving my sister to school and we were listening to like my favorite album of all time.
which
Um,
is
the Fugees. We were listening to the Fugees.
oh, I love the Fugees.
And we got in a car accident. We were T-boned, and like I still can't listen to the Fugees when I drive because it was
I
like
can,
I have like lifelong injuries from it. So does my sister.
of course, of course.
Yeah, and like so it's I was just wondering about the CD and like what it was because I don't know. I've listened to the Fugees a couple times to try and like get back into it, but I can't listen to Killing Me Softly, which is the song that yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine that. And
yeah,
in fact, if I even saw the CD cover, like I think I've erased it.
yeah.
It didn't leave an imprint,
It-
ironically.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, good
But I
question.
mean, that's amazing that you guys, you walked away with your physical bodies unscathed and, and that you got the support for your family for the
Yeah,
mental health aspect because that's pretty big foresight because a lot of times that's just completely neglected.
right. Well, and those mental health, that moment in time, the feeling of being out of control, like being at a loss of the ability to control a situation and protect your family,
Hmm.
it's shown up a lot in our lives since. So it's good we were kind of introduced to that then, but we've had certain reiterations of asking for help since because those things live a
They
long time.
do. They
Yeah.
do. And like what a gift to your children
Yeah.
to be given an opportunity to process and heal or learn tools, and be able to carry that with them. So I think
Yeah.
like that's, good job on that for
Oh,
sure.
thank
You're
you.
such a good mama.
Well, we just want to protect our families, whether we have children or animals,
Yeah.
it's kind of the role we assume. And when you feel vulnerable by that, it's a very, very scary feeling that whether we're trying to protect our parents or our kids or
Hmm.
whatever, it's, yeah, going through those stages of protection is, yeah, it's quite something.
It definitely is. And so you had a third near-death experience.
Yeah, that same year. I think it was that same year. The Hurricane Katrina. Do you remember? I think it was 2007, same time. I don't know. 40 was quite something. Anyway, we had been as a family in August. So it was either 2006, 7, or 8. I get those years blurred, forgive me, listener. But you can Google search this. Anyway, we had been in the Dominican Republic and on a vacation in August. Our family had lived abroad. For a number of years. And while we were away, we ended up taking holidays in August. But when we moved back, we didn't realize that it's hurricane season in the Caribbean. Anyway, we are like, oh, it's kind of cheap to go to the Caribbean in August. So we flew down to Dominican Republic. We had a nice time. And as we were flying back, actually, a couple of days while we were there, we had to like sit in our room because there was a hurricane here going through. We weren't really paying attention. We just knew, oh gosh, it's really windy. Do not go to the beach. Whatever. Anyway, we get to the airport. Our flight is at night, And we had taken off, and the pilot had said, it's going to be kind of turbulent. We're flying over this weather system. And I don't know how long in, so I can't timeline this, but I do know that suddenly our plane was hit by lightning, struck by lightning. We were flying through this storm. We didn't realize the catastrophic outcome of Hurricane Katrina till after. Anyway, when your plane is hit by lightning, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation before, but there was a tremendous bang. All the lights go off and you drop in space. I'm going to say it's 10,000 feet.
Oh my gosh.
But it's pitch black. There's no lights. And people are screaming because there's another sense of not being in control. All these things, the common theme here is not being in control. So that was like terrifying. But then we got hit again. And the pilot didn't come on and say anything. People were screaming like we were going to die. I was screaming like we were going to die. There were certainly blood-curdling sounds coming out of people. And then the lights came back on, and we were flying like we're all looking around going, holy Hannah, like this, I'm not doing it justice. I'm trying to be polite for your listeners.
Yeah, but like, I think, yeah.
That's
terrifying.
The truth of the matter was, you're in the dark, you're dropping thousands of feet. I've never been a real roller coaster person, just so you know. So I don't go on roller coasters willingly. I'd go on planes because I like to travel, but this was next level. And it wasn't until it felt like forever. It could have been 5 minutes, who knows? But anyway, the pilot came on and he said, what you've just experienced is our plane getting hit by lightning. And the plane did its job. But again, we're all altered by the effect of not feeling in control. But again, being all together, quite frankly, if I'm going to die, I don't want anything to ever happen to my family. So the fact we were all together was the next level of terrifying for sure. So anyway, yeah, I hope they're done. Like touch wood, man. Like I don't.
Yeah. Well, like she's not going anywhere, guys.
I know. Well, the fact that I still get to be here makes my mission even more fundamental to me, because I get to help people, and I want to help people. And the opportunity to have a vehicle like Resilient AF to share my story and help people understand what is in their control and how play is the fundamental habit for better health, feeling better, eating better, sleeping better.
Yeah.
These are the things you have choices and control over, and you might as well make them fun and find the joy, because we just don't know. We just don't know.
We just don't know. No.
No one has a magic mirror or ball, crystal ball to know anything. So live every day and play, which means please look after yourself. Like that is the fundamental two versions of what play is. Play as in move your body to feel better and manage your life better. But play is please look after yourself.
Please look after yourself. I love that. And, thank you for sharing all three of those really terrifying experiences. And, you're right. You're so out of control in those situations. So what can you control, and like what is in your control? And, you're a great catalyst, and you're full of so much information, to bring us to this awareness, right? To remind us the things that we know, but they're lost, right? We're going to run out of time, but I want to talk about Red January, because this is somewhat new to you. This episode will come out in January.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're listening to this, we recorded it before January. So what's Red January? Tell us all about it.
RED stands for Rise Every Day. It's a movement that I have brought to Canada from the UK. It's been a campaign that's run in the UK to inspire people to move their way through the month of January for their mental, physical, and social well-being. I was so inspired by what the founder was doing, Hannah Beecham. that I said, I think Canadians really deserve the opportunity to be part of something that is not a one size fits all. It fits with play in that how you like to move your body and doing something positive in an otherwise and joyful in an otherwise kind of cold and dark month, and including someone in that, whatever that looks like to you. So is it walking with a friend? Is it walking with a friend at a mall? Is it swimming? Is it dancing? Is it whatever movement brings you joy? It doesn't, you don't have to go to a gym. You just get the opportunity to explore ways that make you feel good through movement. And it very much aligns with how I help people through play and through behavior change. Because truly finding something you like to do, like what did you like to do as a kid? Start there. If you don't identify as an active person, that's okay. You're still welcome to discover that. And when you put those things into place through the month, you're much more likely to continue that behavior beyond January. So it's just this incredible opportunity for people to join. It's free. And we have partnered in Canada with the General Project, which is Canada's campaign to help people connect socially to beat loneliness. And when you move together, you're actually 78% more likely to stick to a exercise habit when you are with someone else. And gosh, it's like magic. And it's fun and it's free. And that's Red January.
I absolutely love it. We'll put the link in the show notes.
For sure.
You don't need to be in Canada to do it. We have people all over the world, right?
All over the world. Yeah. There's hundreds of thousands of people in the UK, and you can donate to their charity, which is Mind Over Mountains this year. It's 10 years in the UK. We're 2 years in Canada, and we are looking at, just growing this incredible campaign globally together.
I freaking love it. Oh my God, so good, so good. So, and you have a gift for everyone. Tell us a bit about your gift.
Yeah. So I wrote a book called The Playbook, How to Get in the Habit of Good Health. And it is based on the habit of moving your body. And it's not an exercise book. It's actually a book to have you take control of your health, finding a way. It's I'm your coach, I'm your guide on the side, and this book is giving you the guide to figure out those things, like how you're going to move and meet your requirements for better health. Anyway, in my book, because people are stuck, they really are. I mean, there's 1.8 billion people in the world that do not do enough exercise to keep healthy. And that's 20 minutes a day. So I thought, okay, well, if we need 150 minutes of movement a week, which is about 20 minutes a day, that doesn't have to be all done at once. What are 150 ways to move more that can help people? And so I have a list of those 150 ways to move more in my book. And I have a free download that you can grab the list. And I want to share that with people because everybody deserves to move in a way that makes sense to them. And it's simple things, Blair. It's like stand on one foot while you're in the line at the grocery store, park farther, jump on all the cracks on the sidewalk, use a tree to do a squat. Like these are just things that are available to us everywhere, making the world your playground, and simple things that you can add into your day that are playful and fun and bring people joy.
I love it. And I have your book and it's amazing. So what a gift. You are a gift. And
well, so are you. So I appreciate that. And thank you for developing this incredible platform to help people learn other people's resilient stories to identify with and motivate them. And it's wonderful.
Amazing. Oh, thank you. And so let's wrap up with a piece of advice. I mean, it can be for someone who's had a near-death experience, or like maybe it's just a piece of play advice, whatever you're called to. Hit us with like today, your best piece of advice.
My best piece of advice, I would say, is always listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't identify what listening to your body is, use some deep breaths every once in a while in your day to just be present and aware, and understand that pain isn't normal. Having fueling your body is great. What is optimal living to you? But really, the behaviors and the approach to being able to listen to your body is just being quiet for a minute and listen to what you need and pay attention to the signs, because your body talks to you. It was almost too late for me. I was forced to listen to my body. So I hope for somebody to just please look after yourself and listen to what you need and fill your soul with the things that bring you joy.
Perfect reminder as we leap into 2025.
25, right? Yeah.
We're here. We're launching a book. You're gonna look after yourself. Janet said, please.
Please play. Please play. That's
Please
it.
play. And we're gonna rise every day. Red January. So thank you so much for joining us on this fantastic episode.
Thank you for having me, and I love chatting with you, and I can't wait to see how amazing this book and this podcast is going to be. It's amazing.
Ooh, thanks. And thank you to everyone who tuned in for another episode of Resilient AF with Blair and Alana. And today, Janet, no Alana, but that's okay. We're honored that you took the time to learn, grow, inspire, strengthen your resilience muscle, bounce forward with us. You're not alone. You don't have to do it alone. And you know what? If you're not feeling okay, that's fine. It's okay to not be okay. You're not alone. There are resources out there for when you're ready, including us. Let the Global Resilience Project be that lighthouse in the storm. I'm here for you. I got you. Let's hold hands. Let's get through it together because, friends, you are resilient AF. That's a wrap for another episode of Resilient AF with Blair and Alana. And thank you for listening. Are you feeling inspired to bounce forward?
Let's connect at theglobalresilienceproject.com, where you can read many stories of resilience, buy our books, shop our clothing line, learn more about how to strengthen your resilience muscle, be empowered, and more.
Remember, friends, you are resilient AF.